motherfuckers, f***ing cock, and hey guys, whoa, you saw the magic there. Okay, so I basically broke the film down for you here.
We'll forgive you, Happytime. Oh, for 50 cents, I'll suck your dick.
This is the Happytime Murders, starring puppets and Melissa McCarthy, and sort of a buddy cop movie. That it kind of reminds me of Bright a little bit, because in this world you have humans and puppets living side by side, and there's a little bit of prejudice there. And of course, these murders go down, the Happytime Murders of this show. It was one of the first show to incorporate puppets. And, you know, so you got a little LA noir style happening in it. And you got to go on this journey to figure out who's committing these murders. But I guess the question right away is, you know, is this funny? Is it an entertaining film? I thought the concept was incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Like the puppets and just raunchy humor. And I also have kind of a, you know, a Sixth Sense humor, a little nostalgia.
Yeah.
I want to see it twisted up and a different take on these puppets. And let me start by saying, the puppetry work was excellent.
It was wonderful to watch.
They combined. You got to see their legs.
Yep.
So they sort of combined, you know, CGI with different effects, and I actually really enjoyed the world here that they created. I thought it was very nice. Of course, it's done well because it's actually directed and the puppetry work done by Brian Henson, who is Jim Henson's son. Boy, I wonder what he thinks of his boy's work. You know, and these kinds of raunchy things, kind of, you know, hand up the puppet's ass and really taking that to the extreme. The puppets have sex. The puppets are doing some really inappropriate things, but that's the whole point, you know? And critics, boy, are destroying this film right now.
Yeah, it's really low. It's like 29 on Metacritic and like
27.
27 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
5 out of 10.
Now, did you think it was that bad?
I wouldn't say it was the best movie, but
Right.
it was pretty entertaining to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't really bored throughout it. You just kind of could guess where things were going to go. So,
Yeah, like the opening was great. Like I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. I'm into it. You know, we're making some really raunchy jokes, and it makes me laugh a little bit. And I like Phil. What's his name? Phil Phillipson,
Phil-
the detective
yep.
cop.
Yeah.
And I thought it was played really well. I'm not really sure who plays him.
is Bill Beretta.
Yeah.
Which his voice sounds extremely familiar.
Yeah.
But his face does not.
But apparently he's a guy, maybe he's done puppets before, but
yeah.
I think he's one of the best parts of the film. Like, he was entertaining, and it was, he really made me buy into the world and get into the whole noir aspect and mystery solving. But what do you think about it failed?
So this is a concept that I really like. And you're like, oh, it's like puppets and there's humans. And it's like, okay, so it's like Avenue Q. But it's already been done
I've
before.
never heard of Avenue Q.
Avenue Q is a Broadway show that's like Dirty Sesame Street, where the puppets curse and have sex. And there's some amazing musical numbers. It's great. You should go see it. Like, you should go watch that instead of this movie.
It's better.
So
okay.
this felt like an hour and a half long episode of Crank Yankers that, you know, where there's all the puppets and they're cursing and they're doing weird things. And it got old. Like, it was really nice in the beginning, but it got old really fast.
Yes.
And maybe because I've seen some of these other things, it's like I got 30 minutes in before it's like, I'm done. I don't care.
There was nothing clever to be said beyond the
yeah.
opening jokes and the puns. Now, and here's another problem with the film is half the jokes aren't funny.
Yeah.
And some of them, those half that aren't funny, are actually sort of a little cringeworthy. I'm like, oh, God.
They tried so hard.
Yeah.
And never. But don't get me wrong, there are legitimately funny moments in the film that made me, you know, laugh out loud. Nothing too amazing, but like, you know, like Erica said, you were entertained by it.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
share my favorite
of
part?
course.
No spoilers. Of
Okay,
course-
well, we'll save it for the spoiler section just in case.
Okay, just in
All
case.
right, but what'd you think of Melissa McCarthy?
Oh, she was really good in it. Her acting was spot on. I'm surprised it came out so fast because I'm sure it was pretty hard to not laugh
All right.
a lot with them, mimicking the puppets and everything like that. So.
At the end of the film, they do show like after behind the scenes kind of things where the crew are having the greatest time. And you said this looks like a really fun film to make.
Yeah, but to watch.
Yeah,
they probably had more fun with it.
Exactly. And man, other Joe wanted to see it too, but he went out of town. But he was super excited about it. Now I'm gonna have to tell him, Joe, it's a little disappointing.
No, we'll just go to the Dollar Theater. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what did you think of Melissa McCarthy?
I think there were some scenes where she was really into it, and there were some other scenes where it looked like she was bored a little bit. Like, 'cause some of the humor just wasn't there. They kept trying to force this, like, a couple jokes. They didn't hit on the first time, but they try to keep hitting you with it.
Yeah.
And by the third time, it's like, man, she's like bored like I am.
Yeah.
Like, she knows this isn't working, but she's being paid to say it.
I don't know. I didn't feel like she was bored at any time. I thought that she was kind of into it and really kind of taking it serious. But, she wasn't as bad as she is in some other things, at least, because she's made some good... People think I hate Melissa McCarthy because of Ghostbusters. Yeah, because
Spy was amazing, though. And she was incredible.
I don't know if it was amazing, but it was funny. And she does make some good ones from time to time. Now, granted, she plays the same fucking character in all of them. She plays herself.
She does.
But to be fair, there are other comedian-type actors that do that. What's that girl's name? Her first name? Maya Rudolph, I think?
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph. She was good. She was good in the film, and the supporting characters were pretty good. You had the guy from The Office as the chief of police. He does have that kind of face. It's like, really now, with all the silliness that happens. But yeah, great effects, great puppetry. Unfortunately, it has the intelligence of a 12, 14-year-old just saying, fuck, shit, fuck, come, fucking sex, over and over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there is quite a big explosive scene with some puppetry hotness. So anyways, we'll get there. So let's just go ahead and give final verdicts for what we thought of the film. And Erica, if you remember, like 5 is the average, and then 1 terrible, awful film. 10 is a legendary film that you can compare everything to.
Well, it's definitely not getting that.
Yeah, so we'll start with Alex.
I'm going to give this a 4.
Slightly below average.
Oh, it's definitely below average. And this is like, I don't know if this is a 3, because this isn't like Samurai Cop 2 bad.
Joe recently forced us to watch Samurai Cop 2, and we were thinking maybe we could watch Sharknado and Samurai Cop 2 and do some like bad movie reviews, and Joe brought some beers and stuff, but oh my God, I don't know how Red Letter Media does it, because me and Alex, it was like torture. But there was so many quotable things in it, and even here, there's nothing quotable.
No, you'll remember nothing about this movie.
In Happytime Murders.
There's 2 scenes that I will keep with me forever, and that's it. And we'll talk about them in the spoiler section, but it's like, that's it. Like, there's a lot of the comedy that just didn't hit, and it got old and tired. Like, the novelty, it's like South Park. One of the beautiful things that South Park did really, really well is, yes, it's little kids cursing. And that was kind of their shtick in the very beginning. But then they got really clever with the writing. So this is like that, except for they didn't get clever with the writing. And then the jokes were kind of bad. And things just kind of get stale. And then it just gets worse and worse as the movie goes on.
Little droning on, and then, but what did you feel about the conclusion? Was it satisfying?
The story doesn't make any damn sense.
Okay.
I mean, you can't think of like the plot. Like, this is not the kind of movie where you're like, well, let's poke holes in the plot. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing about this movie makes sense. So I think it's a really low 4, but we'll give it a 4. It's below average, and I don't think you should see it this way.
How dare you!
Wait, we'll have fight scene.
Fight! What do you think?
Oh, I completely agree. It was definitely below average, not worth actually seeing in the theater. Maybe save it for the dollar theater.
Or Netflix.
Or Redbox. Probably Netflix, so you don't even have to pay for it.
Redbox, when you get one of those coupons where they just let you rent one for free.
So, what did you give it again out of 10?
4.
4, and what are you giving it?
I'm gonna be at 4 too.
4 as well. Okay. I think, usually I have this rule because I end up liking films a little bit more because it's kind of like my break from video game reviews. But this one, so I normally would say, okay, 5. Well, I feel like a 5, I'm going to subtract a point just to get it on. But no, I actually kind of liked it, I think, a little bit more than you guys, mainly because I was invested in the world.
Yeah.
I thought I went in with utter devastating expectations that this thing was going to be a pile of steaming shit. Because the last thing I've seen from Melissa McCarthy was the Ghostbusters reboot, and I thought the same sort of people might be behind it. It's a different team entirely. And, it doesn't have like the expectations that I did for that film. So, I don't know. When people are saying, "Oh, it's a 2 out of 10 on the Metacritic," I'm like, it's not quite that bad, But it's not exactly a good movie either. So because the puppetry was done well, because the sort of mystery solving engaged me the whole way through, I'm giving it a 5. But it loses the other 5 points because so many jokes were just unfunny. It dragged on, even though that was a relatively short.
Very short movie.
Yeah.
75 minutes.
And I think it knew that, we ran out of material. Let's end this shit now. But it still kind of feels like it runs out of steam
For sure.
Before the half point even. So
it was the longest 75-minute movie I've ever watched.
Right. All right, so that's our review of the Happytime Murders. I really wanted it to be much better than this because I like the concept. So I don't know if we'll see any more raunchy, puppet films, but that's our opinion.
Watch Avenue Q.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Fucking motherfucker.
You got your duster candies. You can make him.
Oh yeah.
No, but that doesn't have silly string.
Yeah, but if
We'll
you,
just do this.
if
Oh,
you
yeah,
hold
yeah.
the can, no, upside down. You have to hold the can upside down.
Upside, like this?
Yeah.
Don't do it on me, because that's Joe on Joe crime.
Some weird action.
That's some weird stuff. Anyway, so welcome to the spoiler section, guys, where we kind of get to tell you the nitty gritty. So what scene were you talking about that you liked?
Oh, I really liked both the sex scenes, actually. So in the very front part of the movie, he walks into this porn shop looking for some information. And the guy comes out from the back, leaves the curtain open, and just an octopus is, making this cow come a significant amount from every udder.
Well, yeah, they're milking.
pleasuring
It's
it.
milking
Oh,
the
it's
cow.
milk- yeah,
He's
yeah,
milking
yeah.
the cow.
But it looks very suggestive, okay?
Oh.
Because he's like,
I didn't
and it's going
realize.
everywhere, and it's an octopus?
An octopus has enough tentacles to milk a cow completely.
Oh, for sure.
I would have never thought of that, but
Yeah.
it works out
It
oddly perfect.
It was creative, disgusting, shocking, funny.
Yes.
I liked it. I thought
Yeah,
it
that
was a
was
great
very
scene.
good.
And that's what we're talking about. Beginning of the movie, you get into it is, oh no, and then all of a sudden a guy comes in and like starts blowing the puppets apart and fucking fluff is going everywhere and you're like, oh shit, this might be an entertaining movie.
And
And
then
then
it didn't.
kind of falls apart after that. There is another funny scene where they're in his office and he's like, they're having sex and his cop buddies come to visit him while he's doing it, so you hear them droning on in the background, but then he's got the little can there and he goes crazy with it.
One of my favorite scenes to watch in the little blooper reel where the guy has the can of silly screaming, just
Oh yeah, they show you the behind the scenes where they can barely hold together to finish that scene off. But they also do that.
well put.
Yeah, they do that. What is it? Basic Instinct thing with the puppet showing her like vajayjay, purple hair vajayjay. Like, I am forever scarred. My childhood. But I don't know. It was hilarious and frightening at the same time. So that's why it was an entertaining watch, because you're like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah, exactly.
It started really strong.
Yes.
And then
So it basic, some more spoilers here. Who was the person that was murdering everybody?
It was the little girl.
So the guy's story is he used to be a cop and now he's a private detective. And so when he was a cop, he accidentally shot some civilian, and the little girl's in the street. She watches her dad die, and so the little girl grows up, and then she starts murdering all of his friends and family, and then inexplicably like has sex with him.
Yeah,
even though she hates
she
him.
wants, which is why the story, falls apart. But she's obsessed with him, but hates him. No, she just hates him. It's an obsession of hate. So yeah, she tries to ruin his life. Accidentally shoots the father, and everybody thinks, oh, well, he's a fuck up because puppets won't shoot puppets. They try to do this sort of
it's exactly
racism.
What
Bright was exactly, but I don't know. It's
the shot.
Yeah, he just missed the shot, and you don't believe people's motivations here to be complete fucking asswads on not understanding. Melissa McCarthy's character, like initially, I thought she was a big fucking asshole. She was
because
she's being a bitch for no reason. Especially when they showed her the scenes of how well they work together, and then he misses the shot. She can't understand that, especially when he murders somebody, that he didn't mean to.
And they spent a long time explaining like how hard he tried to save her life.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just didn't make sense in that song. So it made Melissa McCarthy come off as unlikable, really, in the beginning of the film. And I forgot to put that in the review that I didn't felt like I liked her. She did a great job in the acting department. But by the end, you can definitely feel a little bit of chemistry between the characters. Yeah. So it turns out to be that, it's an LA noir, it's a noir trope, right? Yeah. That it's this femme fatale that shows up and screws up his whole life. And that's what it was. And it sort of pays homage to that. So I kind of saw it coming from a long way away, but it was still entertaining through and through. They had definitely a bunch of death scenes.
There's some very entertaining things, like how all of the crack cocaine or whatever that they were trying to reference was just sugar, and so it's like,
candy.
Prove your worth. You got to snort this candy with a Twizzler, and you're like,
all right. And that's even another thing, that why would she be such a fucking asshole to him, that she's part puppet, and they try to push this, she's part puppet, and then she says stupid lines like, the humans don't like me and neither do puppets. Like, what the fuck? You look like a human. That doesn't fucking work. Yeah. And if so, then you should understand all this stuff a little bit, more.
Or just try.
Yeah.
Harder. Like the movie should have.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to think about this movie.
Yeah, no, it was like an extended, sort of, episode of that's perfect way of putting it. The crank callers or what it was.
Crank anchors.
But I expected more, and I was hoping that it would do better so that we might see more silly stuff like this, because I really love the creative side of, puppets and the craft and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe this film might sink all that. The critics hate it, and we'll see how well it does in theaters, and we'll see how audiences react to it. It's probably going to be ho-hum.
Well, school just started, and this is also rated R, right?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't. Well, yeah, it has to be fucking rated R,
right?
It
has to be, right?
Shit, I don't know. I guess they could get away with more things because it's actually felt.
It's just pups.
It's not a fucking vagina.
The vagina.
Yeah.
Fucking reference. Oh, they like having sex with them more because our vaginas are actually velvet. And it's oh, come on.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Happytime Murders. Appreciate that. All the, took it super far, but we were hoping for a little bit stronger jokes. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. It's weird that I wanted to see more of the puppets and less of Melissa McCarthy and some of the human characters. That's not weird.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's my opinion on the film. All right, guys. So, thank you so much for sticking around for the spoilers. That's it for this one, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
Bye.